Have you ever driven up Sydney's Parramatta Road in rush hour? Now that would be stress. We had that experience one time when we were running a seminar in Sydney and we were visiting a relative in a hospital, and we had, the lanes are so narrow. There's a car right there, there's a truck there, maybe a bus coming past there, right next to you, and there's planes flying overhead. And it was so busy, bumper to bumper. And only for the hardened community you would imagine each day that would take a toll. Now, stress and worry is a part of all of our lives, and it can be a very good thing because it brings us to alertness when danger approaches, like driving on Parramatta Road and many other situations. It's called fight or flight, and the sympathetic part of the nervous system, it tightens up, it releases hormones, adrenaline, it activates the whole system, makes the brain work quicker, the whole body is ready for a fight or to run from danger. Unfortunately, that is the state of many of us all the time, and many of those chemicals that the bloodstream releases in that state are corrosive and bad for the body. What we need to be in the rest and digest more of the time. And that's the parasympathetic nervous system that allows us to relax and releases the tightness in the digestive system, allows the blood to flow, and allows our whole system to work much better. And so these are very important things to understand for our ongoing health, because if this fight or flight, this perpetual movement, this state of stress that some people live in continually is allowed to continue, then we end up with, first of all, a weakened immune system and more diseases, and perhaps some chronic diseases starting to show their head, and eventually things like cancer start to take over. And we really must get to grips with this, because for our spiritual life as well, it's hard for the Holy Spirit to be leading in our lives if we're all bunched up and tight like this, looking inward, worrying. And worry and stress is actually a sin if it's to that degree, because we're meant to be in a state of love, joy, peace, long-suffering, and resilience. These qualities of the mindset of the Spirit will elude us if we're continually worrying and stressing. So what can we do about it? What's the simple ways, first of all, to alleviate this? The number one remedy is exercise. And exercise rebalances the hormones, it increases the blood flow, and it is a very natural part of life, and many of us lead sedentary lives, don't we? And so a little more exercise with the deep breathing, water, and there's a number of other things which are very good. Just spending time in nature is incredibly good for us. And some people combine that with their exercise, and they get their day off to a very good start. And so some other ways that we can do this would be listening to classical music. People have found that this is very relaxing and actually energizes and revitalizes the mind, particularly some kinds of classical music. And spending time with a friend is always good, but also joining a group that is doing things for others. Studies have found that when we're doing things for others, the body changes, it's happier, and there's a sense of joy that comes into our being when we are helping others. We find a sense of purpose, which is often lost, the purpose of life, driving up and down Parramatta Road every day. And there is a higher purpose, a higher calling, and Jesus wants us to be in continual communion with Him. And even if we are studying our Bible, if we're involved in that kind of lifestyle, with all that stress continuously, it's very hard for Him to get through to us through the Holy Spirit leading our conscience. And so we must take remedial action if our life is like this, if it is very, very stressful.